Hey, welcome back to Tone 26 TV. Today I'll be making my green rice, roasted sweet potatoes, and some seasoned black beans. All right, I'm gonna start off by working on the dish that take the longest to prepare, and that's my roasted sweet potatoes. So I have 4 sweet potatoes. I'm gonna get my peeler out. And my knife. All right, so I'm gonna cut the sweet potatoes up first. These are gonna take about 40 minutes to prepare. I have the oven preheating at 425 degrees. I'm gonna roast them for about 20 minutes and turn them over at about, actually take about 35 minutes. I'm going to turn them over halfway through, and I'm going to bake them, actually roast them on wax paper. So I'll go ahead and get these nice and peeled quickly. When I get done cutting these up, I'm going to add some grapeseed oil and some salt and a little bit of paprika. You got to get your potato peeler if you don't have one. It saves a lot of time, I swear. All right. Almost finished. I have 2 peeled, 2 more to go. You do not want to put these skins in the garbage disposal. Mess around and clog it up. Go ahead and fish those peelings right back up out of there. Three potatoes down. This last one, I'm gonna cut it up. I'm gonna make sure I cut my sweet potatoes up. Make sure they're all the same size so they cook at the same time. When they finish cooking at the same time. You see, whenever I'm cooking, I like to get me a little trash bag, put right in front of the sink. Put the peelings right in here. I put that right in front of the sink. All right, I'm gonna put my sweet potatoes right in here, shake them up with a little bit of oil, and paprika, and a little bit of salt. So I wanna make sure I cut my sweet potatoes the same size. Cut it the long way first. Be careful with those fingers. Put those right in there. Once again, all the same size. I have my oven preheating right now. We're about 300 degrees. Waiting for it to get to 425. By the time I finish cutting these, we pretty much be about there. Once again, when meal prepping, you want to make sure you start with the dish that take the longest to prepare first. One more to go after this one, be all finished. And I'm not going to add a lot of oil. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of grapeseed oil. You can use olive oil if you like. I prefer to cook with grapeseed oil. There's a little bit more healthy fats than olive oil. Costs a little bit more too. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of grapeseed oil. Actually, I eat my smoked paprika. All right, and not just the regular paprika, but smoked. Hit a little bit of smoked paprika. See, add a little bit of salt to that. Get my cooking sheet out. I'm gonna line my cooking sheet with some wax paper. I only have a little bit of wax paper, so I'll go ahead and put it in a smaller dish. Going to shake up the salt, smoked paprika, a little bit of oil. All right, I'm gonna toss these sweet potatoes at about 20 minutes into the cooking process. Go ahead and set my timer for about 20 minutes. All right, next up is the green rice. That takes the next longest to cook. So go ahead and put this to the side. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to add a little bit of oil so I can brown the rice. I'm actually using this little skillet right here. You use any kind of pot you have that you cook your rice in. I'm going to warm up the oil a little bit. I want to make 4 servings. So I'm going to measure 3/4 of a cup of this long grain rice. And this is basically one of my favorite vegan meals. Actually, it's my favorite vegan meal. While I'm waiting for the skillet to heat up at medium heat, I'm going to go ahead and take the membrane out of this jalapeno pepper. That's where all the heat is at. So we just want the flavor from this jalapeno pepper, not so much of the heat. So I'm taking out all the seeds. All right, so I'm getting all the seeds out. All right. After dealing with the peppers, I always wash my hands. All right, skillet's heating up a little bit. I have 3/4 of a cup of rice. Let this start browning up a little bit. Get nice and stir it up. Take a couple of minutes. All right, now I'm about to bring together the mixture I'm going to put on my rice to give you that green color. So I have me a shallot that I'm about to cut up. I'm going to put an entire small shallot up in here. All right, go ahead and peel that. I'm going to throw the shallot in my blender. For the exact recipe, you can go to tone26.com for the exact measurements. I have my spinach, a jalapeno pepper. I'm going to chop this up a little bit before I throw it up in there. Salt, cilantro, pepper, garlic, and I'm going to add the same amount of liquid, actually double the liquid as it relates to the amount of rice I put in there. So if I put 3/4 of a cup of rice in there, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of chicken stock or chicken broth. This is chicken broth. I'm going to double the liquid. The rate, I'm going to use twice as much liquid as the amount of the amount of rice I use. So that's 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth. Then I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup of brown rice as well. So I'm going to double the liquid as it relates to the rice. So I have my rice over here browning up right now nicely. It's starting to turn brown. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the liquid into my blender. Go ahead and bring my blender over here so you can see it. This magic happen. Try to clean this area up a little bit. Add a little bit more liquid to it. All right, start it back up again. Have my smell the jalapeno peppers in there. All right, my rice is nice and brown. Now I'm going to add the green mixture to my rice. Start cooking this for about 60 seconds. Get it nice and green. Put it back on the stove. And I want to get the rest of this mixture out of here. So I'm going to add the rest of my broth and another 3/4 of a cup, because I'm doubling the amount of rice, doubling the liquid to the rice. So actually I'm going to use water. So 3/4 of a cup. Clean this out. We're going to shake this up. I'm going to pour the rest. All right, so there we go. So I make my green rice. I'll go ahead and put this on the stove for about, on low heat. I'll cover it up. And I'll set that for about, I'll let that finish cooking with the sweet potatoes. So that's at 12 minutes I have left on the stove for the sweet potatoes before I turn those. So I check on the rice at that time. All right, while that's cooking, the last thing I want to do is show you how I make my seasoned black beans. All right. Turn the eye on low. Get a can of my black beans. So black beans. I actually did find this recipe online, but I love it. I just doctored it up just a little bit. Just changed the measurements on a few of the ingredients to meet my taste buds. All right, so I have me a little bit of ground cumin. Hit it with some ground cumin. And some lime juice. So it's ground cumin, a little bit of lime juice. Once again, if you want the measurements, you can go check out tone26.com. I have all the measurements located there for you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let everything cook for the next 10 minutes. And I'll be back to check with you, or be back to show you the finished presentation at the end. I want to add the avocado as well to the dish. All right, see you later. Hey, welcome back. It's been about almost 40 minutes with the sweet potatoes in the oven. That's the buzzer you hear going off. The sweet potatoes are done now. Ended up having to cook them a little bit longer than I thought. Go ahead and take these roasted sweet potatoes out. That's the last thing I want to add to my dish. I have my green rice, my black beans. I have my avocado for my vegan meal. And so just add the sweet potatoes. And I did measure everything. My rice is a 1/2 cup. I used a 1/2 cup of black beans. And I used, this is about a 1/2 cup of sweet potatoes as well. And there we go. All finished. And once again, you get the entire recipe and many more at tone26.com. I hope you enjoyed it.